inauguration of 2 solar power plants by the Minister of Water and Energy, Gaston Elundu Esomba, on September 22nd is a contribution not only to the fight against climate change, but also to the use of renewable energies. Well, these two issues will be the topic of today. Good day, viewers, and welcome to the maiden edition of your new magazine, Start Eco, your production that brings you all updates on the protection of the environment. At the time where the world is about to gather in Dubai for the COP28 to evaluate the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change, which aims at reducing greenhouse gases by 43% by 2030. In Cameroon, startups have stormed in the renewable energies domain in order to help the country limit its emissions at 0.45%. From the production of biogas to the transformation of solar energy, these local enterprises are trying to fight this phenomenon at their level. Let's watch this report.
Bienvenue.
Bonjour, maman.
Bonjour.
C'est Green Construction Homes.
4 years ago, her team started this ambitious project. Today, Audrey Togo, a biogas engineer, is assessing the progress of Green Construction Homes, a renewable energy enterprise. Her main focus is on the proper production of biogas.
The process carried out here is the anaerobic digestion. So when the organic matter is introduced here, the fermentation takes place inside the digestion unit. From there, methanogenic bacteria are produced, and they are the one responsible of gas production. Using biogas to generate fire for cooking purpose will make us limit the presence of carbon dioxide in the nature.
The verification goes from the production unit to the kitchen.
La flamme est bleue, ça veut
Oui, la
dire
flamme
que-
est bleue. Ça ne noircit pas les marmites.
The customer says she is satisfied with the savings made, but also the eco-friendly nature of the concept.
Une bouteille de 6500.
A bottle of gas costs 6,500 francs. Times 12, it is already about 75,000 francs. Now, with biogas, we buy a bottle once after 3 months. It is an important saving. Biogas has a positive impact because it does not dirty, thus leaving the environment clean as compared to that of gas. We are the first beneficiaries.
Donc, c'est nous-mêmes, nous sommes les bénéficiaires. Ça bouillit.
To discover byproducts of the virtuous cycle, we journey to the outskirts of Yaoundé. We are welcomed by Pierre Romeo Formecon, the agricultural engineer of the enterprise. He takes us on a guided tour of the 1-hectare experimental plantation, the equivalent of a standard football field. Here, vegetables and fruits are cultivated exclusively through organic farming.
Et c'est avec l'engrais naturel qu'on a fait pousser tout ça.
A rapid growth enhanced by the use of organic fertilizer. With compost, he waters the plants monthly.
First of all, natural fertilizer fertilizes the soil. Secondly, it increases production. Today, many people avoid chemicals, but these products can be consumed by everyone. It increases production by 90%. A plant that was to produce 1 corn cob can produce 2.
The science says organic fertilizers are biodegradable, sustainable, and environmentally friendly, while nitrogen fertilizers are responsible for 2.4% global emissions. When waste is not the raw material in the transformation of green energies, the sun comes into play. In the locality of Mvundu, a hard-to-access village of the Mbam and King division, 144 solar panels were installed. The project is an initiative of Renewable Energy Innovators Cameroon. Though the enterprise exists since 2005, it is only in 2022 that the company launched its expansion project. The startup aims at electrifying villages having economic potentials but lack these necessity. Presently, the population of Vundu benefits 14 hours of electricity per day through a sunny process.
From the absorption, it goes through inverters, which convert the energy into alternating energy. The panels actually produce direct current, so through the inverters we convert them to alternating current.
The project is expected to expand to 134 localities in 4 regions, thus eliminating 6,132 tons of carbon dioxide. Meantime, traders say the brisk business.
When we were using generator, we used to fuel maybe almost 4 liters a day, and that was quite expensive. So now with the solar energy, we spend less than what we were spending, and our neighbors we are in good terms with our neighbors because of noise now, because the generator was so noisy.
The Mvundu solar plant has displaced 48 electrical generators. It represents approximately 192 liters of fuel that we used daily. Authorities glimpse a clean and sustainable village.
We are the electrical generator to produce energy. Fortunately, a private company has installed a solar plant energy from which we benefit. Since then, I can say that we use less generators, less fuel and reproduction fees. We are on the right path to make Mvundu a clean town. Renewable energy is highly welcomed. We are aware of that, especially with this climate change that affects us.
Wind power is a green energy waiting to be blown in the electricity mix. Only hindrance, the cost of installation.
Wind power is more costly than solar energy, and the cost depends on the capacity. For example, for a 12.5 kilowatt plant, you have to spend 12,500 euros. Converted to franc CFA, we have 8 million.
Despite these high costs, startups keep diving into the domain. According to the Cameroonian Association for Renewable Energies, about 100 enterprises exist today with solar power leading the sector. Thus, the necessity to regulate and accompany the actors.
The field is not yet regulated. It requires specific laws and regulation to the domain. We are working on that hand in hand with the Ministry of Water and Energy. To the actors, we offer capacity buildings and the meeting with investors to finance these projects from startups.
In the same light, government offers incentives to entrepreneurs. Among them is the 10-year elimination of taxes on products used to build renewable energy projects. Cameroon hopes to achieve the 25% electricity mix and the 0.45% limitation of greenhouse gases by 2030.
Cameroon has been able to attain just 3% of the electricity mix, that is 25%, and 0.45% of the limitation of greenhouse gases by 2030. In a bid to increase these figures before the deadline, government has implemented environment-friendly projects. In Start Eco today, Gombe Gaëtan, a technical executive at the Department of Renewable Energy and Energy Management of the Ministry of Water and Energy, is with us on set to talk about this project. He has received the green light to talk about it. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
A pleasure for me.
The Paris Peace Agreement has set as objective to maintain the global rate change at 1.5 degrees. Cameroon as a signatory country, what is being done by the Ministry of Water and Energy, especially in the domain of renewable energies?
With the technical assistance of the International Renewable Agency, we have developed a National Renewable Energy Development Plan, which is currently being revised. And we also have a lot of projects and some ongoing projects which were inaugurated by the minister recently, the Maragide solar project. We equally have many projects. A program has been launched in the hydropower sector to construct 50 small hydropower plants. We equally have the rural electrification project of 1,000 localities, for which 2 The first 2 phases have been completed, and very soon we are going to launch the 3rd phase aimed at electrifying 87 localities.
All right, the National Development Strategy 2030 highly recommends the implication of individuals and the private sector. Can you give us an update of this collaboration?
Yeah, many of our projects are being done with private sector, actors from the private sector. For example, the Mara and Gide solar power plants were constructed by Scatec, which is a private sector company. We equally have projects being realized and constructed by local partners, for example, Solcamtech in the Yaoundé Central Hospital.
Even for normal Cameroonians, it's very difficult for them to access these technologies. What is being done by government in order to help them have access to renewable energy?
The state has exempted solar products from taxes, so it makes it easier, though it's still expensive, but some of these products are actually tax-free.
An engineer told us that to have a mini wind plant, it's in the 8 million francs CFA. It's very expensive for a normal Cameroonian.
It's not expensive. It's even very cheap, and it's not realistic. Actually,
so it's more expensive. That's what you want to say.
For a 1 megawatt wind power plant, what is required is at least 800 million. And for a Cameroonian, you don't need 1 megawatt. You can't consume the 1 megawatt. For a basic Cameroonian, for a mean Cameroonian, actually, from a potential point of view, it's not going to be viable to render this technology accessible to everyone.
Cameroon will join other countries in Dubai for the COP28 to access the 2015 Paris Agreement on climate change. What will be the contribution of the country at this major event?
From our point of view and from our perspective, we have as aim to reduce by 6.8% our greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. So in the energy sector, that's our target. And there are other sectors, like for the transport sector, where we have to reduce the emissions of CO2 in the atmosphere.
6.8 reduction, 6.8%. That is the figure we have to retain at the end of this exchange. Thank you, Mr. Gaetan Gombe.
Thank you, madam.
Dear viewers, it is the end of the maiden edition of Start Eco. Next week, we'll be bringing you a new production on the protection of the environment. Till then, don't forget to protect the environment.